The Young Thug opening statements in the RICO case, and I'm not gonna lie, the state of Georgia is a clown circus. It's not going good. This might sound crazy. Young Thug might get off. Young Thug might get off. So I want y'all to know the court. I'm reading these daily. I watched some of the trial because I saw earlier today that it just got so crazy that I started to follow up on it. Day one opening statements went absolutely crazy. The court has invoked a rule of sequestration. This means anyone who is expected to take the witness stand is not allowed to listen to opening statements / other witness testimonies. Families of defendants are an exception to this. Immediately, multiple attorneys have objections / concerns and have crowded the bench. With how many parties are involved, in the courtroom, there's not enough space for everyone there, so everyone else can listen in on devices at the seats so jurors don't hear. There's like 30-something people on trial. This is the longest case in Georgia history so far, in the entire state of Georgia so far. Now, what's interesting about that is the case just started today. Apparently, there's 600 witnesses, so this case could last another year. This is a huge case in Georgia history. No bullshit. 600 witnesses. I want to play this.
And the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk.
I want y'all to know this is the district attorney, and this is her opening statements. What the fuck is she talking about?
And the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk.
Look at the lady in the back typing. What the hell? She's sitting there like, what is she talking about? That's a poem from the Jungle Book. That's what she started off with. I'm here to prove to you that YSL is a criminal street gang and YSL is made up of defendants here today. Steele interrupts the opening statements with an objection. The judge has the jury leave the room to hear Steele's objection. Steele motions for a mistrial. There's a reason that he motions for a mistrial, and this is where it gets crazy. This is where it gets big. And I also want to pull out something that she said earlier. I want to pull up something that she said earlier in her open statements, because I want y'all to really realize how much of a piss poor job this woman is doing in this situation. So the burden of proof is on the DEA, the DA, my bad, to prove that Young Thug, YSL, their street gang, street criminal organization, all that stuff like that. That's the already agreed upon burden of proof. It's been stated. That's what the jurors know. But in her opening statements, she says this to the jury.
What you will not hear any evidence of is that the defendants were not involved in a criminal street gang. You will not hear any evidence that they did not commit crimes on behalf of YSL. And as I stated to you earlier, what I'm saying to you now, this is
let me object to that statement, please, as burden shifting.
Object basis?
Burden shifting, and under Parker versus the state at 277.
Why don't we take that up then?
39.
I'll note your objection. I'm sustaining the objection. Why don't you rephrase, madam?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just rephrase it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to explain to you at the appropriate time, ladies and gentlemen, what the burden is in this case. Remember what I told you earlier, that the burden never shifts to the defendants to prove for certain innocence, they're presumed innocent, and it's only until you hear evidence that you decide is sufficient and I'll instruct you on how you're supposed to do that at a later point in time.
So the problem with this is that this is supposed to be, in America, is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. She is trying to shift it to say that they are guilty and they will not do a job to prove their innocence. She's trying to say that they are in a gang and you won't hear evidence that this is not a street gang. These are not street crimes. And she's not supposed to do that. You legitimately can't do that. There's a reason for everything. I think the reason why she did that, a lot of these towns, cities, whatever, judges, attorneys, police chiefs, all this, et cetera, this is the way to tumble yourselves into higher positions of power, to get onto like the federal level, to go from, city, state to federal, which means more money, which means more book opportunities, which means all this stuff like that. She's trying to take this case down. She's trying to make sure that this shit happens. She's trying to make sure that these guys go to jail. She's going to do it in such a nasty way that Young Thug and them, with a good attorney, it can kick them off, because ultimately she's getting so greedy. Shouts out to Aim High for the raid. Wait a minute.
He's on fire.
My fault. I did not see that. Big Aim High. Hey, I got to text Aim High. I ain't gonna lie. I got to text Aim High. Appreciate that raid, Aim. Big 90 in the building. I'm gonna hit y'all with that ad. But yeah, so shifting that burden is like disgusting work. Shifting that burden is disgusting work. There's also another big thing that happened in this trial today in the opening statements. Already they motioned for a mistrial for a specific reason.
Last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, you ordered the parties to share all of their displays in opening statement to the others so we don't have to have these interruptions. I did that. The state shared with me 4 attachments. That's all they had. That's what I got. What you just saw on your screen, if you don't remember, I'll ask the state to put it up, and I asked for it to be marked as exhibit, is what you already excluded. It states that Mr. Ryan was last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
So what he basically just said there is, before the trial starts, you got to disclose information to each other so everybody can prepare and nobody's blindsided. So it gives you a fair shot. Nobody's getting, blindsided by shit. The state showed evidence on the screen that was already excluded by the judge. This is the first day.
That's it.
Okay, what's your objection based upon, Mr. Steele?
Objection based upon, I argued this before the Honorable Court. You argued the prosecution that before they ever mentioned my name, you granted this motion.
That I did.
Brought up to this Honorable Court, outside the presence of everybody. We're an opening statement. I am lied to. I am saying that. I am lied to. Or if anyone else got that exhibit, I did not get that exhibit. And I see everyone's head shaking no. And now it goes against the court's order. We are bound, duty bound to follow the Honorable Court's order.
I know this might be too much going on. The motion for the mistrial was denied. The judge gives the jury instructions to disregard what they saw. This is the evidence that is shown. I think it's specifically, so this isn't the lyrics. It says Steele represented Lil Rod in an appeal, which is not true. So the state has lied. Additionally, pre-trial, a motion from Steele was granted that the state would not be allowed to mention he represented anyone previously except for Thug. And they also violated that as well. Yeah. So the judge, I guess, eventually went on to exclude both of these. The other interesting thing here is they decided to introduce lyrics, a song called "Take It to Trial," used against Thug and Yak Gotti. That's what they used.
As the evidence will show.
Holy shit.
Take this shit to motherfucking trial. I rep my life for real. For slimes, you know I kill. Trial, I done beat it twice, Kendricks. I'm undefeated, like feds came and snatched me. I don't know. No point in asking. I was on what? Breathing.
Hold on. Cause she reading that shit nasty as fuck. She reading it kind of nasty. I don't know if it might ring off a little differently if we hear it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play it real quick. Cause she reading it kind of nasty. But this is how nasty court can get. This is how nasty court can get. I'm gonna have to cut this for YouTube. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like that. Miss Lady, eat a dick. Fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? Take that shit to trial. Shouts out to the big 99 in the building. Take that shit to trial. You just gonna have to eat a Frank. No cap. It's nasty out there. Cause she is butchering this case so far. She is butchering this case so far. I just the only reason why I think there's a possibility of it going in the favor of Young Thug is because there's a lot of stuff. There's another cell phone thing, if I remember correctly, that the state butchered as well. And so that'll also have, the state looking bad. But, no matter what I believe, you at least got to do your due diligence in court. And the state of Georgia, it looks like they're about to do something nasty in order to indict a man. They don't have all their ducks in a row. They just do not have all their ducks in a row. And that's fucked up. That it could end up in a non-favorable way for Young Thug and the rest of them. Because whether they did it or not, you got to have your ducks on your row. You got to have your ducks in a row to prove that I did it. But it looks like that's not the case for the state of Georgia. And hopefully, God forbid, that it doesn't end up that way.